I just created that title for you. We're talking about the national championship game on Monday. Paul, you said something I found very interesting the other day on the show. You said Deshaun Watson is the kryptonite for Alabama. Go ahead and explain that.
Well, I think last year Alabama felt like they were going to be able to shut him down, and he ran that vaunted Alabama defense carry all over the field. And after the game, I was struck by the great Alabama defensive line. They joined us in the aftermath on the postgame show, and they were so angry because they could not come up with a way to stop him, and they almost gave the impression that they were devastated, even though they had just won the national championship, and that's why Nick Saban had to resort to the onside kick that really won the game. Saban later said we couldn't stop them, and so I think that is what's going on here. And Deshaun felt like they should have won that game, and that's been the motivation. You've heard it all week long. You've heard it all year long, and now the Alabama defense gets another shot. I think this Alabama defense is a little bit better than last year, though.
Yeah, and it's interesting you say that. Jonathan Allen on the show, the leader of that defense, said twice during our interview earlier today that he was just disappointed and that he wanted to make sure that they could go back out. They were disappointed in the way they played and the way they showed up. And they wanted to go back out and get another chance. If you had to pick the winner, where are you going? You got Clemson or you got Alabama?
Well, Kerry, in full disclosure, I used to live in the state that you are currently in, and I have not picked against Alabama in a football game since November of 2010 when I picked Cam Newton upset Alabama on that very field that you're in. So I don't know if that's giving the nation any indicator of which way I'm going, but I will bet you it will be Crimson on Monday night.
So is that a heavy gangster lean towards?
Yeah, it's, I think.
What are you doing?
You can go to Vegas. You can go anywhere you want. I'll be picking Alabama. How about that?
Okay, all right, that's good to know. Now, let's talk about Alabama. You talked about living in this state. In the interest of full disclosure on my side, became very interested in your show after you had Phyllis on. You know Phyllis, right?
Oh, she's wonderful.
She is. Okay, so our viewers who are not aware of who Phyllis is, she called into your radio show, and she became somewhat of a viral sensation. So we are going to play a little sound. Let's talk about Phyllis, shall we?
Let's do it.
I will never forget it, and I'm looking forward to next year. And Paul, Bama did great. I'm proud of them. And roll damn Tide. That's all I can say is roll Tide. Bye.
Thank you, Phyllis.
She can say. Okay, so Paul, so what's the background there? Talk to me about Phyllis.
Yeah, Phyllis has been calling our show for 20 years, and I've gotten to know her. She's one of the sweetest people I've ever met. Her husband is going through a very difficult time right now. In fact, SportsCenter did a piece on him last January, and a lot of our callers helped raise money so he could be a little more comfortable. But she's actually more interesting after an Alabama loss. That was 2 years ago this week when Alabama lost to Urban Meyer and Ohio State. And she went crazy. She said that I don't care what the score said, Alabama won the game in my mind. And she never gives up. And I think she's the embodiment of what makes Alabama so special. In spite of all the wins, the fan base at Alabama, I think, is the most passionate and loyal in this country.
Yeah, it's as you said, you've never picked against them since 2010, and I'm sure that you received a lot of heat for that.
By the way, Kerry,
the best part, though,
they haven't lost many times since 2010.
And so you're not far off. But the best part of that interview is your reaction, which was no reaction. You're okay with all of that.
Well, it's
yeah, you're fine.
I love these callers, so you have to babysit them and let them say whatever they want.
All right, so Phyllis, folks, we led up to say, with the help of Paul Feinbaum, Phyllis will be here tomorrow. So make sure that you tune in. She is definitely one of my favorite sports fans. And Paul, what should I do? How shall you prepare me for that interview?
Kerry, you will love her because she is genuine, she's real, and she's become a national celebrity because of our radio show and thanks to ESPN. But she shoots straight, and you will fall in love with her because I know what's in your heart.
Yeah, okay, I appreciate that, Paul. I'll also let our viewers know, and maybe we'll talk a little bit more about this tomorrow. You and I finally get to meet in person. That's going to be interesting, won't it?
Yeah, thank goodness my wife is currently at work right now, so she's not watching Sports Center. But she knows I have a torch for you, and okay, she gives me a little freedom now and then.
You should be worried about David. He'll be there too. He gets a little jealous. So I'll take care of David.
Now you've ruined my day. I don't want David Lloyd anywhere near
Paul Feinbaum, folks, you definitely have to check him out. He is arguably the best thing you've ever seen. Thank you so much for joining us here on Sports Center, Coast to Coast. David, don't be jealous.
We're going to bare knuckle brawl, Paul. It's going to be on. Anyway, we're doing our top 5 Bama players tomorrow, our top 5 Clemson players today, and this guy's going to factor into it. C.J. Spiller set 32 school records in his time here. So explosive. Had his number. No one's wearing number 28. That number has been retired. And C.J. here with us at the SO Club. What is it like for you walking around town, big superstar football player that you are back on campus?
I mean, it always feels great to come back to Clemson. This family always show me love every time I come back, and it shows why I came here, why I chose to come play here. It's really a big family, even when you're done playing. I mean, I've been gone since 2009, but I still get the same reaction every time I return.
I know you're still close to the program. You were at the national championship game last year. Tell me, what is that experience like, CJ? When you're a football player, but you're on the sidelines watching your guys?
It was fun. I mean, you can feel the energy in the crowd, the momentum swinging back, and just to see your team out there, you're just a proud alum for how the guys competed and played to the very end. You know, we came up short. The guys gave everything they had, even when nobody else thought they can compete with Alabama. So it was fun to be on the sideline and see how the guys responded throughout the whole game.
Just a crushing loss. I mean, they played very well. They came up a little short.
Yeah.
What was it like after the game? Where were you? Did you get a sense of how the team felt?
Well, I mean, they was down just like anybody. I mean, you work so hard to try to win a national championship. It's so hard to win it, and you get so close and you come up short. I mean, everybody was down. I mean, it was tears. I was just trying to get into that big brother mode and, just encourage the guys and let them know that, all the work that you put in, it wasn't a failure, even though you came up short. Don't think that the season was a failure. So the guys took that, and here we are again. They're back in it, and hopefully they have a chance to finish the job.
Yeah, they get their second swing at this thing on Monday night. Dabo Swinney, of course, the architect of this team.
Yeah.
Tell us about Dabo, and he recruited you. Tell us what happened.
Oh, I mean, I'm from the state of Florida, and right outside Gainesville, and one of my high school teammates was actually getting recruited by Clemson, and he came in, and I never knew nothing about Clemson because I grew up a Florida State fan, so I knew him by just them by playing Clemson, but I never knew about the campus. So he just asked me, could I come on and visit? So he actually made me and a couple more people sign this little card saying that I would make one of my top 5 official visits to Clemson. And he always reminded me about that card. And, I came up here and I fell in love. And honestly, it was the only place where I called my mom and told her that Clemson is a place where I think I can come and play 3 or 4 years. And, I had to been already to Florida State, UF, USC, Miami, but it was just something different about Clemson when I came.
There was some car trouble.
Yeah,
what happened?
Yeah. So the night that he came and visited me, it was one night, a school night, and he was getting ready to leave, and he was on his way to the airport, and he happened to get a flat tire on the road that you get no phone reception at all. So lucky for him, it was a state trooper on the road that night coming into town, and he was able to call me and let me know what was going on. So me and my stepdad at the time was able to go and help him out because he didn't know nothing about changing no tire.
Dabo couldn't change the tire.
Yeah, he couldn't change the tire. He can do everything else. I don't know if he can still change the tire yet. So, but it was funny. So we knew right then that we would definitely be together. It was 12 o'clock at midnight. I got to get ready to go to school the next morning, and I'm out here in the middle of the dark trying to help a Clemson coach change a tire because he got a flat. So it was fun. We always give each other a hard time about that. About him being on the side road stuff. And having to be in the dark, and he's from Alabama, so he wasn't used to that.
Right. I think when he saw you working on the lug nuts is when he knew he had you. He saw CJ down the lug. I got this guy. Tell us a little bit about what makes him. There's sort of a different quality to Dabo Swinney. What can you put your finger on it, CJ? What it is?
I think it's really just what you see is what you get with him. He's no phony. He tell you the truth. He's going to get the best out of his players, and he just have a genuine love for everybody on the team, from the starter to the non-starter to the walk-on to the 5-star recruit. So think that's just the biggest thing. And I knew he had a genuine love when he made me run off the field when I walked off the field. And that's one of his pet peeves is don't walk off the field. And when he stopped the whole session and it made an example out of me, I knew he had a genuine love for everybody on the team.
Before we go, I know people are wondering, you spent some time with the Seahawks and Jets this year. What's the plan moving forward in the NFL?
Just getting ready for free agency to start here. Going to enjoy these playoffs. It's always fun. But once free agency starts, we'll see where I land next. I'm excited about my future.
All right. We're doing top 5 in a while. Top 5 Clemson football players.
Yeah.
You're our judge, CJ. Looking forward to this. Big factor into the list. I don't want to